Welcome back to the AvaMind audio blog. Before we dive into today's topic, a quick note. If you find these episodes helpful, please consider liking, sharing, or following along so more people can discover the support they need. And if you're curious to hear Saul and Elia break this topic down even further, keep an eye out for the podcast version on our YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll find it under This Is Not a Real Podcast. All right, let's get into it. If you're here, chances are sleep has been a struggle lately. Maybe you've been lying awake at night, feeling wired and restless. Or maybe you've been sleeping a lot, but still waking up completely drained. Either way, this one's for you. Today, we're exploring something many people experience, but few talk about openly. When sleep problems are actually your body's way of waving a red flag. Not just about your habits, but about your deeper emotional or mental well-being. So, let's take a breath together. Let's talk about what poor sleep might be trying to tell you, and how to start listening. We all have the occasional sleepless night. Your brain's buzzing, your to-do list won't shut up, and you're tossing and turning at 3 a.m. That's normal. But what happens when those nights aren't occasional anymore? When poor sleep becomes the norm, when you dread bedtime, or wake up more exhausted than you were the night before. Here's the thing. Not all sleep problems come from too much caffeine or screen time. Sometimes, sleep disruption is your nervous system raising the alarm. In fact, sleep is often one of the first places we feel it when something deeper, like anxiety, burnout, trauma, or grief, is bubbling under the surface. And ignoring that signal, it can silently erode your emotional resilience, mental health, and energy for life. So today, we're going to explore how sleep connects with your mental health, red flags that your sleep issues might mean something more, and gentle ways to get support, starting with small steps. Let's get into it. Here's what most people don't realize. Sleep isn't just rest, it's regulation. When you sleep, your brain sorts through stress, restores your emotional balance, and resets your mood. So when sleep breaks down, it's often because something is disrupting that natural process. Now here's the science part, simplified. Mental health challenges like anxiety and depression activate your stress response. That means more cortisol, faster heart rate, tense muscles, a brain that just won't switch off. And all of that makes falling asleep harder. But it works both ways. Poor sleep also worsens mental health. It shrinks your capacity to cope, makes you more reactive, and even chips away at your motivation to seek help. It becomes a loop. One that's easy to fall into and hard to notice, until something bigger hits, like burnout or panic attacks. Let's break it down. Occasional sleep trouble is normal. Stressful days, changes in routine, or big life moments can throw us off. But if these patterns last for more than a few weeks, it's time to dig deeper. Here are some red flags to pay attention to. You can't fall asleep because your mind won't stop racing. This often points to anxiety. Your body feels tired, but your brain's stuck replaying conversations, worrying about tomorrow, or catastrophizing every what-if. You wake up in the night with dread or a racing heart, especially between 2 and 4 a.m. This can signal unresolved emotional stress or depression that peaks in the early hours. You're constantly exhausted, but still can't sleep. That tired but wired feeling, often a sign of burnout or high-functioning anxiety. Your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. You avoid going to bed. Scrolling endlessly, binge-watching shows, or distracting yourself at night. Sometimes we avoid sleep because we're afraid of being alone with our thoughts. You're having nightmares, night sweats, or even sleep paralysis. These can be linked to trauma. Even if you're not consciously thinking about what happened, your body remembers, and it's showing up in your sleep. These symptoms don't make you broken. They're signals, clues that something inside you is asking for attention. Let's name a few common emotional or psychological roots that disturb sleep. 1. Anxiety. When your nervous system is overactive, sleep feels like a luxury you can't afford. Look out for racing thoughts at night, restless legs or fidgeting, a fast heartbeat while lying down, constant what-if thinking. 2. Depression. Depression affects sleep in two directions. You might be wide awake or sleeping way too much and still feeling flat. Signs include waking early with a heavy feeling, no motivation to get out of bed, emotional numbness or irritability, dread about the day ahead. 3. Trauma or PTSD. Past trauma, whether you've talked about it or not, can keep your body in alert mode. You might experience vivid dreams or night terrors, waking in panic, feeling unsafe at night, avoiding sleep altogether. 4. Grief. Loss changes everything, including our sleep. Whether it's losing a loved one, a relationship, or even your sense of identity, grief is a full-body experience. You might notice trouble falling asleep, crying at night, insomnia around anniversaries, emotional overwhelm before bed. Whatever your experience, know this. It's not just in your head. Your body is carrying something, and your sleep is reflecting it. It's easy to dismiss poor sleep as just stress, or to blame your phone, your schedule, or that third coffee. But here's what happens when we ignore the deeper cause. Mental health gets worse. Ongoing sleep deprivation raises your risk of anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Focus and memory suffer. Tasks feel harder and you're more forgetful. Mood swings increase. You're more likely to snap, cry, or withdraw. Resilience fades. Everything starts to feel like too much. Sleep is often the first thing to go when something's wrong, and the first place we feel it when we start to heal. Let's talk about burnout for a moment. It's not always obvious. Sometimes burnout isn't crashing into a wall, it's slowly losing your spark. And one of the earliest signs, sleep disruption. If you feel tired but wired, every night if you're dragging through your days and dreading your nights, that's not laziness. That's your body waving a white flag. If any of this feels familiar, here's where to start. Start small. Track your sleep patterns for a week. What's the rhythm? What emotions come up at night? Use the AvaMind app to talk to Ava, our AI coach. Vent, explore, reflect. Ava's here day or night. Try a mindfulness session focused on sleep. Just 5 minutes can calm your nervous system. Right before bed, even a quick brain dump can quiet the mental noise. Know when to reach out. If sleep issues last longer than 2 to 4 weeks, if anxiety, depression, or trauma symptoms are showing up. If you're using alcohol or substances to knock yourself out. If poor sleep is affecting your work, relationships, or safety. You can search for a therapist directly in the AvaMind app. There's no shame in needing help. There's strength in seeking it. Sleep problems don't make you weak. They make you human. They're not failures to fix, they're invitations to listen. So instead of asking, how do I fall asleep faster? Try asking, what is my body trying to tell me? And when you're ready, take one small step toward rest, whether that's talking to Ava, trying a calming session, or simply putting your phone down a little earlier. You deserve rest. You deserve support. And healing begins the moment you stop pushing through and start tuning in. Thanks for listening. You've been tuning into AvaMind's audio blog. We'll see you next time, where we'll be talking about how to build a wind-down routine that actually works. Until then, be gentle with yourself and get some rest. You've earned it.